brief. First things first, we're going to talk about the election and its aftermath next week. I know that's on a lot of people's hearts and a lot of people's minds. I gave my initial response on our service Friday evening, which is on Facebook if you want to read it. This has been a very charged, very emotional election, and it has consequences, so I certainly don't want to ignore it. And I think our UU principles speak very loudly and clearly on some aspects of it, and on others not so much. But I want to reiterate that we are a church for everybody, that everyone who walks in our door is welcome, and that if you have questions or concerns about anything that I have said or written, wherever you are on the political spectrum or whoever you did or didn't vote for, please do reach out to me. I welcome the opportunity for any dialogue. I want to say that in the aftermath of the election, we are getting reports rolling in of some concerning incidents of bullying and harassment here in our community. So this is a good time to be present and aware of what is going on around you. And if you see someone who is in a situation where it looks like they need a witness, or they need an escort, or they need support, and you can safely provide any of these things, please consider how our principles call us to act in the world. And if you have experienced something that you need to talk about, please reach out. And let's be here for one another, even if just to listen. Now, our service today commemorates the journey of our 400-year history in this country. How we began as refugees in Holland, fleeing political violence, before becoming immigrants to these shores, then experiencing the most grave extremities of poverty and illness, and relying on the kindness of other people from another culture for our very survival. That is our story. Our Puritan ancestors called themselves Congregationalists because they believed each congregation should be free to run its own affairs, which is still how we do it 400 years later. They were very different people from us, with different values and priorities and a different understanding of their mission, which is not surprising since it was 400 years ago. But some of their core values still very much resonate with us today. They believed in freedom, however imperfectly understood. They believed in community, that people could gather together around a mutual promise to love and help one another. And they believed in changing the world, even if their vision of the world was not exactly our vision. Over time, some of those Congregationalists became the Unitarians. And the vision of a changed world that they were working for began to look more and more like our UU vision that we have today, with an emphasis on liberating all people and lifting up all people and bringing all people into beloved community. In the 1800s, the Unitarians began their centuries-long tradition in America of freeing the prisoner, of promoting science and education, of healing the sick, of fighting against slavery and oppression, of fighting for freedom and dignity and self-determination for all people. And in every era, it must be said, this vision has been imperfectly understood because we are limited beings. And in every era, we have fallen short of our highest ideals because we are human and they were human. We must acknowledge that the Puritans who received the kindness of the Native Americans so gratefully became in time their persecutors. And our congregants who fought slavery worshiped side by side with those who profited from it. And our fight against racism and for women's liberation and LGBTQ liberation has lived side by side with a power structure that was almost exclusively white and male and straight. So we are and will continue to be imperfect. But let us be grateful for the love and the courage of all those dreamers in our history who got us to this point in time. And let us also be humble for the ways we have fallen short. And let us be steadfast and faithful about the work we have to do. And we have work to do. This country needs our vision. Now, more than ever, this country needs people who will stand on the side of freedom for all people. This country needs people who will stand up for the worth and dignity of all its inhabitants, not just the white and the male and the straight and the Christian and the documented, all its inhabitants. This country needs people who will insist that health care and clean air and clean water and enough food to eat should be the standard for all its people. This country needs people who respect reason and science, who understand the stresses we are placing on our environment, and who will fight to protect our world, because we just have the one planet. There is no plan B here. As we step uncertainly together into this new American landscape, let us be proud of the great heritage, our vision, our principles. Let's remember, too, that our greatest strength is found in our community. We need each other. I am grateful for the kindness, the intelligence, the courage, the love, and the laughter found here in this place. I am grateful for all of you. May we continue to stand by one another. May we listen to each other with an open heart. May we brighten each other's days. And may we continue together to bring more love, more freedom, more wisdom, and more justice into our world. Blessed be, and amen.